Hi, guys, it's Shaman Ishay, and we're back. We are going to talk today about this topic that went really crazy on my TikTok. So, if you're not following me on TikTok, please make sure you follow me there. If you want more spiritual content, I actually post more on TikTok, so you can tune in there for shorter videos. But I actually posted this video in my shorts, and it's talking about the spiritual dynamic, the dynamic duo, the divine couples, that God put together and what they may look like. So, I was in particularly talking about the dynamic duo where the husband goes out and work. The husband is built, and that's obvious. That's science. Men are built differently than women, and how God will use the man to go out and work in the physical while the woman stays home. Now she thinks she's just being a stay at home mom, but one day she begins to press record, okay, and she cut on that camera, and little do she know she blows up. But she was only able to do that because her man was going out and making sure those bills were paid, and he was sacrificing and working while she was still able to be home. And not just, she was actually, taking care of the kids, but also she's able to blow up and get brand deals, and boom, she's an internet sensation, and she's bigger than she thought she was. And now she has money flowing in too. And in this particular dynamic duo, it's when the wife retires the husband. The wife steps into her purpose first. And I'm not saying that she did it on her own. That's not what we're saying. Because her and her husband partnered up together, she was able to step into her purpose. And what happens is men kind of come late to the party. Women are spiritual. Sometimes we do a lot of things first. We're a little fast. And I mean, just by some of the things we do, especially our healing, and men kind of catch up later, but this is not for all men. So the man will step into his purpose after. Once the money is taken care of, once the man has retired, he's now able to step into his own purpose. And so they begin to live a purposeful life. And I think this is very important. A lot of people went crazy. You could see the people who were traumatized by this. A lot of people were saying, well, the woman just leaves. The woman just leaves. I'm going to tell you something. The worst thing you could do is watch your partner, because this is not about money. I'm going to be honest. If the woman leaves because of money, that was never the right woman in the first place. But if you allow your woman to heal on her own, that is a recipe for disaster. If you allow your man to heal on his own, that is a recipe for disaster. God will shift that person. A person who is walking into their purpose is protected. God will remove anybody from around that person who is hindering them from walking into their purpose, okay? Because sometimes what we'll do too, even though we begin walking into our purpose, we'll say, oh my God, but you're my man or you're my woman, and I'll leave everything behind for you. And God will be like, no, you ain't. You're going to keep moving forward. So that may be the case where some people say, oh, well, one partner leaves the other partner. It's only because the other partner is not catching up. And sometimes I feel like this for myself. Some of us heal so fast. Some of us are doing the work so fast. What's happening is when you do healing and different type of spiritual work like that, shadow work and journal prompts and stuff like that, and loving yourself, that is a lot of spiritual stuff. And things are being done in the spiritual. Well, the spiritual moves a lot faster than the physical does. So when you're excessing, you're moving excessively, or you're moving vastly, and you're doing the excessive work with your healing, you will probably run past your partner. And what's going to happen is later in life, your partner is going to have to catch up. There will be a slow down time where your partner, for you, it's going to slow down and your partner is going to have to catch up. But I want to give y'all some examples of this. My favorite one is Tabitha Brown. Favorite. Another one is B Love and her husband. I really haven't got into just her story because I don't really watch her, but I love Miss Pat. I've listened to some of Miss Pat's interviews, her talk show or her podcast. So I love Miss Pat, but that's another example. And definitely a lot of men interpreted me saying that like, oh, you're saying that the woman steps into her purpose first. What if your purpose is to make sure that your wife gets into her purpose first? What if that's your purpose? We don't like for us to believe that we have one purpose ever in life. That is not true. Our purpose changes. It changes. And then we have this grand, big one that shifts a lot of things, but your purpose will change. God will place you into different places for different purposes. And I can also tell a lot of people this type of dynamic, again, this is not the dynamic. This is one dynamic. For myself, I actually thought I was on that journey, but because some of us move vastly, oh my God, so much faster than our partners, God will literally shift you. Oh no, you're not waiting for him. If God sees that you are trying to stop your purpose, which I actually was, slowing down with it, and I wasn't completely trying to stop my purpose, but there were things where I definitely put my purpose on a back burner to be there for my partner. And God was like, no, you ain't. First, it's what I told you to do. Next is who I told you to be with. Never forget that. First is what God tells you to do. Second is who God tells you to be with. And I was getting the two a little mixed up a few times, just speaking personally on my story. So God was like, you know what? You're not going to have one of those stories, which I really thought I was. I really thought this was going to be like a Tabitha Brown, like, oh my God, you're out working and you invest in me and da da da. But some of us are meant to build our own empires, and we'll meet our partners at the end, not the end, but once we've planted our own seeds. You have to, some of us have to plant the seeds first. If you're not planting seeds and you're not trying to grow anything, it's not going to work. Some of y'all are looking for your partners to plant seeds with you, to grow things with you. It has to be done by yourself. Some of us. And so that's actually where I'm at right now, planting my own seeds, growing my own business, doing it for just me and my kids right now. But some people are so blessed, like Tabitha Brown and Miss Pat and Be Love and other women that I have yet. These aren't the only women, but other women and men that I haven't explained yet. And it comes vice versa too. There are men that sit at home and decided to press record and blow up on social media. There are men who do that. And this is not just about social media. This is more so about one person. It's two people coming together to say, hey, it's impossible right now for us to both be walking in our purpose and us both get into our creativity. I know we both want to start a business. How about somebody does it first and then the other person taps in? Because it would just be terrible for one person to be living their dream, which happens a lot. One person to be living their dream while the other person is, not doing anything with theirs. Like, oh, I got to get up and go to work every single day. And they live a miserable life. So if you're not cut out for this type of duo, though, you will gain resentment. You will resent the other person because, oh my God, like, look at you. You're living your dream. You have everything you want, but I had to go clock in and I had to work and da da. It takes healed people. And well, let me not say healed, because healed is, I don't think we'll ever reach healed. It takes healing. It takes two partners showing up every day when it gets hard. And when you do feel that resentment, to let's work through that. When you do feel a little anger, when you do feel a little frustration, when you are tired, can we work through that? And kind of healing with your partner. I think that's why a lot of people say, oh, the woman just leaves, because a lot of people don't want to heal with their partner. A lot of men hold in their emotions when they feel that resentment, when they feel that frustration, when they feel that they're tired. Let's talk about it. Let's heal. Let's kind of get over this rough patch. Instead, they bottle it up. And so what happens is, not just the woman, but one person in the relationship is doing the healing on their own and is doing the working as far as in the spiritual on their own. And again, the spiritual is faster than the physical. And also the spiritual comes first. So you look up and the person who was operating more in the spirit is gone. That will happen. But I love this dynamic duo when it's coming from a healing place, when a woman is able to retire her husband off of doing something that she loves, not busting her tail or nothing like that. It's just easy. And she looks up and she's like, okay, babe, quit that job. Quit that job because we got it. I think it's just the most beautiful thing ever. And if you're on this journey, blessings to you, big ups to you. You actually give that man his flowers. If you got you a working man that's clocking in and out for you so that you can pursue your dreams so he can later pursue his, please give that man his flowers and just show him appreciation. This is the divine union that don't ever look at it like it's just everybody gets this. This type of dynamic duo that I'm talking about, it's special, and you got to treat it as such. So while you are dealing with your creativity and nurturing your purpose and your passion, don't forget to nurture your partnership as well so that it all could grow.